There's an intro song, but I put it over on post.
Nah, that's nice, bro. You put that together yourself?
I got it from Fiverr, that freelancing app.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Cave. It's your boy, Joe Reezy, and Francis should be joining in on the podcast soon. But before we get started, make sure you guys check out the website, cave.com. That's K4V3.com. And now we got the Groovy Guru. We got Baba Aviano inside the cave on the Cave podcast. What's up, man? How you doing?
Alafia. Alafia is a greeting word. Alafia means peace be upon you. So Alafia.
Hell yeah.
Another Yoruba word.
Aruba, right? Or Ayuba? Yoruba. Okay. And we were talking about the origins and the significance of the name Baba Aviano. So let's get started with that before we go into the
Yes. Okay.
And if you don't know the Avians, everyone, I don't know it either. So we'll get started and take out your notepads.
Facts. So the origin of my name, the first half, Baba, comes from the word Babalawo, which means father of secrets. This name, this word, this title is given to Yoruba priests in a tradition called Ifa. Now, Ifa is, to put it in short, Ifa is a code of conduct and a law that binds and lets one flow with nature. Now, this tradition, along with other African traditions, gave birth to the many famous traditions that we know now. In the way that I can give you an example of that would be, there is this thing of divination, this form of divination called Ikinifa or Oponifa, or the consultation of Ifa consultation.
Mm-hmm.
There's 16 palm nuts that are used in this divination. This is where the Hebrews get their casting lots from. Now, they juggle the 16 nuts in their hand and they count. If one falls, they draw 2 lines in the sand. If 2 falls, they draw 1 line in the sand. I don't make up the rules. Now, the Muslims have a similar practice that they took away from here, and it was called sand cutting. Now, I don't personally know if they still do that. I don't personally know that. I don't know a lot about the Muslim religion. I only know a little bit of a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But Ifa is one of the main roots of spirituality, of divination. Ifa is the grandfather, is the father, the mother of all forms of divination. Tarot reading, the runes, everything. The runes, you can trace the runes all the way back to Ifa. There's this binary code called Odu Ifa. Odu is chapter. And there's 256 altogether. There's 16 major Odu, and then for every Odu, there is another 16 combinations. So 16 times 16, 256 altogether. Okay. The way that you could understand this is, for example, hold on. Now, ironically, I got this book right here. I didn't do this on purpose, but
so for the people listening, if they want to look this up, it's Ifa, E-E-F-A.
Ifa.
Okay.
I-F-A. The I is pronounced E, as in C in Spanish. You know, S-I. It's pronounced like that. So Ifa, I-F-A. You want to look up Odu Ifa. This is the Odu Ifa. Right here, you have 16 major Odus. Now, this can also be written down in the form of numbers. As you can see, 10001000. It reminds you of the what's it called for the computers, like the coding, the binary code,
like the matrix code.
Yes,
I think it is.
So
yeah,
you know how computer programming, you have one little combination of numbers that's responsible for a whole field, a whole motherboard of information. Now, in the same way, these codes, these little lines in the sand, come with their own stories, come with their own lessons, come with their own spirits, come with their own everything. Each one means something different. In the
Mhm.
same way that you draw a tarot card and you get the devil or you get the eight of wands, you'll get one of these. And the instructions for whatever you're consoling for, or doing a consultation for, will determine what your answer is or whatever. Now, the computers, the America, technology, science, telescopes, microscopes, all that stuff is literally a technological artificial version of this and many other indigenous and traditional practices. Back in the day, the colonizers, now we're not going to call them white because whites are not the only ones who
Mhm.
colonized and owned slaves. So
So it's
colonizers
like a
in general,
spirit, right? Like the colonizing attitude. It's like a spirit almost, right?
almost. So the colonizers came and they came from a different land. They came from a different level of understanding
Hmm.
into a new land. Now, this land is now called Africa. It has another ancient name, Al Kebulan, or some know it as Kemet, but Kemet was not the name of the whole continent. It was just the old ancient name of Egypt. That's
Right.
debatable. So they came down here to this land and they saw the bond that we have with nature. They saw the connection that we have with each other. They saw the resources that we had. And then they started noticing the spirits, but they couldn't see these spirits that we were seeing.
Hmm.
But they couldn't do some of the things that we were doing. So they decided to infiltrate the system. They infiltrated the system, they learned our ways, and then they took our magic, used it against us to enslave us, gave us something else, distracted us with that, and cleaned us dry. Still cleaning us dry right now. Richest continent in the world, resourcefully anyway, but yet we're living in poverty. America
So
is
just
debatably the Babylon that the Bible speaks of, theoretically.
so just to sum everything up, make sure I'm not lost. Are you
Mhm.
saying the Ode of Ifa? It's a book, right? Would you say that from what you're saying, it's the original lore that all religions kind of are based off? Like every interpretation
Essentially,
comes from that.
essentially. For
Okay,
example, you have,
shit.
uh, let me see. I can't change the channel right now because I control my phone, my TV from my phone.
Yeah,
But
I could YouTube something if you need me to.
all right, so I just need you to pull up an image, really.
Okay,
So I want you to pull up an image, and I want you to spell it out: Shango.
Shango.
Uh-huh. And then space, and then Orisha. Orisha.
Uh-huh. So it looks like
Yes.
a deity.
Yes.
Which one you want to pick?
The one with the lightning and the thunder.
This one right here.
Yes.
Man, is this some Black Panther shit? This sounds like
Yes
what
and
it's
no.
kind of based off, kind of, you know?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Yup.
I can't even
So
see them. Damn, that's
this right here, this is the original icon that Zeus was plagiarized to represent.
I
What you
can't
have
even.
to understand is that these forces, they're not physical forces, but they can manifest in physical vessels. Some of these gods that people are
Mm,
thinking that they're gods, they're not gods. They're people who have been gifted by the gods. And what
yeah.
determines true good and true evil is your intentions with that power. Less and less people have that power now because in the past we were given the powers of nature and we were given the secrets of heaven and we abused them. We used the elements of nature against nature and we were killing our planet. And that's why humans had to go through a great reset and start all over again.
Right.
There are many, many many,
Man,
many dimensions.
you know what?
So, hmm?
It's wild because like we said on the last podcast, I'm Filipino and we believe in like
You got the
spiritual
power in you then.
magic. There's a lot of there's like witchcraft stuff, you know what I mean? And just I hate the term magic and I hate the term witchcraft, you know what I mean? I feel like they're Mickey Mouse
Yes.
terms of what it actually is. I like alchemy, you know, or like spiritual
I would
manipulation. I
say
don't know. What do
alchemy
you
is
call it?
probably a good word. Alchemy is a good word because
Right.
the Hermetics, they speak of turning the silver into gold, but they're
Mhm.
not talking about actually turning actual silver to gold. It's all metaphorical. It's all about
Right.
taking the remnants of your spirit, all the scraps, the silver of your spirit, and taking the chemicals, each chemical, the way that these chemicals work together is the same way that these different aspects of your spirit can work together, transform your spirit of silver to the spirit of gold. So the
Man.
alchemy is a good way to put that. That's a good word. To put it as magic, that's a word that they used to make us think that what this stuff is fake,
Right.
but it's not fake. It's real. Like this stuff is happening in everybody's face, and the reason that they don't believe it, it's not even that they don't believe it, but they just been compelled to ignore it.
Hmm.
So
Facts.
they got all these other things that they're distracted with, man. Like this world is being ran off of fear and sex and anger. Everybody's angry, everybody's anxious, depressed, and everybody's horny.
You know what? It's true, and I said this previously on a podcast too. It's being exploited, right? Like the people I mean, we'll get into the Archons and Gnosticism later on, but
Hmm.
it's fed on, right? Like
Hmm.
whether if you want to think about it on a base level, it generates income, you know, just like rap beefs usually make the album sales go up higher, make the
Yes,
concerts, you know, more popping. So it's almost like a WWE move, you know what I mean,
that's
to get
exactly what it
people
is.
get people hyped up, and it's part of the game. So it sucks that just like WWE, you know when you're gonna get pops, you know when we should bring out an old school guy at the peak of this match and then we'll get a pop. Like the people that are in charge know how to exploit certain weaknesses that we have because they have tons of study and I always bring back to Edward Bernays and all that, but it goes back even back then to the ancient times where it's not even not even written in history, back when history was just tales and just spoken history. I think that's what people forget, and I think that's what makes Hawaii really important, and why those people are really fighting for it is because some of the history over there, they're not like they're not written in any history books, but they're more just spoken and passed down through family. You know what I mean? So
That's the only way to preserve it, man. You
right.
can't you can't burn the spirit, man.
Hmm.
You can't burn thought. You feel what I'm saying? You can take all the books away. You can knock down all the monuments, but you can't knock down the nigga brain.
Right.
It
Well,
don't work that way.
they try to kill him, but I mean, we live in a society now where when you die, your voice almost gets magnified, right? So it's almost like a double-edged sword for the people that are trying to
The best
contain.
thing to happen to an artist, any artist, musical, spiritual, physical, is to die.
Yeah,
That's the best
or
thing to happen to them.
fake your death. That's actually the
Yep,
key.
yep, that's the key. And
But
history, when you break that word in half, when you break the word history in half, you got two words. You got his, and then you got story.
mm,
Whose story? The
right,
colonizer's story. The one who won.
The one
When
who's
you
telling
when
it.
you know what I'm saying? When you fight
Mm,
wars, when you win, 9 times out of 10, the land that you conquer, you're taking away their religion, you're taking away their language, and you're giving them your story. This is history. This is his story. This is what he told us. This is law. There's a
bro.
reason why they teach us what they teach us, man. Like everything we went into school, bro. Like I'm Puerto Rican and Jamaican. I ain't learned about a single Puerto Rican or Jamaican in school. The
Mm,
only things that I ever learned about was white folk. That's all I ever learned about my whole life. Even down when I go into church, is is the man that I'm supposed to be bowing down and worshiping is white. But then I look around and I look around in the world and I'm like, well, this don't make sense because in Asia, their gods look like them. In
mm,
Africa, their gods look like them. In Brazil, their gods look like them, or what they perceive to be their gods anyway. All of these things look like them. But when you look at the American black man or the American black woman and you ask them who their God is, they show you a white man.
mm.
And then not only do they do that, they tell you that the way of the white man is right and that the way of your ancestors is evil and that your ancestors are demons. So now you're like, wait a minute, that don't make
Yeah,
sense
it's
because
witchcraft.
if my ancestors are demons, then what does that make you? And what does that make yours? Because they're keeping their ancestors alive through the dollar. What you have to understand is that after someone is dead, like Dia de los Muertos in Mexico, they keep these people alive through their images, through ritual. Every time we spend money, we're doing a ritual. We're keeping George Washington and Andrew Jackson and Abraham Lincoln, whoever the fuck else is on the damn dollar bill, we're keeping them alive. They still run this shit. They dead, but they still here on that paper. And as long
Bro,
as
that
we manifest importance on that paper, then we're keeping the reality that they created alive.
that's actually fucking an interesting ass point because if you think about it, what do people do for their dollars? They fucking put in their time, their energy. Because most of
Blood,
these
sweat,
people
and
are working
tears
9 to 5. But even let's talk about the entrepreneurs. You're putting your creativity and your soul into the dollars. So
into the
I mean,
dollar.
that's all about. Like I said, we'll talk about the archons later in Gnosticism. But it's
The
what you.
Archons is a deep story to get into, man.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of interpretations of it too, and I mean, this whole podcast can be about the archons too. But why I bring it up is because we live in a matrix where you need money, right? And the way to kind of diffuse that trap is to change your perspective on it and use it more as a tool instead of really thinking, I need money. And we talk about
Right.
rap music where it's like money's glorified, but as soon as you get it, you fucking spend it on hoes and strip clubs. Like, what the fuck? You worked for that shit. You know what I mean?
They're
And not only
they're
did you work
directing
for
the
that shit,
lines.
you put your life on the line for that shit because the way they talk about making money in rap music is the wild way. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
it's words or spells. First of all, we'll get into that, but it's just subconscious programming. And what's cool too is how this all ties in is with the ancient civilizations, like we said about their history and how it's passed down verbally instead of written. It's more so passed down in songs too, right? And chants
Yes.
and affirmations
Yes.
and like
In
you
Yoruba, they
think
call
about
them pataki.
bro,
Pataki is story.
and they make beats, right? They make beats
Yep.
with certain
They
instruments and
they can call
drums.
your name with the drum. You have to
You do.
you
You
I
can you
know
can
I know you
you can
know.
summon some kind of spirit into someone, just like a snake. Like the snake flute shit. Like you can summon some kind of energy into someone with just natural like frequencies where you're thumping and you're vocalizing the energy. What do you think fucking rap music is, bro? You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly
Like
what it is, man. That's why I
it's
can't listen to that shit.
hijacking your soul. Tell them.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're possessing you with this music. What you have to
Yep.
understand is that everything that they're doing for you, the way that they're brainwashing you, you can brainwash yourself for the better. But what they're doing is this is how this shit works, right? You
Mhm.
see something, you process it in your mind. Everything you see, everything you hear, everything you taste, everything you feel, everything, they have control of it. Everything that you take in, you put out. So if you're looking at the TV and all you're seeing is death, all you're hearing is death. You're eating death. You're sleeping death. Everything is death. Eventually, you're going to cultivate the frequency of death. You're going to attract death. And when you look around you, you will see death. If you don't take it with your own hands, versus you looking at somebody, these young niggas, they out here. I can say nigga on here, right?
You can say whatever you want, my man.
All right, cool. So you got these young niggas up here, man. They're depressed. They're dealing with emotions that they don't understand. They don't know what's going on with themselves. But they're listening to these rappers, and these rappers feel these same emotions. But these rappers are telling them to go shoot somebody when they feel that way. The rappers are talking about being upset and shooting somebody or even killing themselves because they're angry. So now these people are like, wait a minute, all right, I'm not alone. This person understands me. Maybe if I be more like them, then I'll feel better and be cool like them. Not knowing that they're catching themselves into a never-ending loop of chaos, man. They're becoming their own enemy. And when they get to that point, the devil don't even got to touch you no more, bro.
Right.
You just sit back and watch. He can sit back and watch you kill yourself. He doesn't have to do anything anymore. It's not good. They're feeding us poison. They're poisoning the applesauce, man. It tastes sweet. And we're eating it because we like it. It's real good. But they're killing us, man. Just like the Aboriginals. You want to know how they conquered the Aboriginals, bro? They conquered the Aboriginals with sugar, bro. With fucking sugar, bro.
Shit.
That's all it took. They're like, hey, man, y'all eating grass.
Yeah, can you get into that? Because that's actually really interesting.
Like, the Aboriginals were very important people, man. And they were very powerful people, very connected. You can just see it. You can see it and look at them in their face, and you can just tell, man, like they are way more closely related. Like they damn near come from the earth. Like I ain't trying to be funny. I don't say this to be disrespectful, but they have very ape-like features, very animalistic-like features from the way that they sing, the pitches that they can reach, the things that they can see and hear, their rituals. It's deep. The Aboriginals got conquered by sugar.
Shit.
Yep, that's them. Yep, that's the people. They got conquered with sugar. These colonizers came in and was like, "Hey, man, we come in peace. You never trust anything that says it's coming in peace."
What do the aliens say, bro?
What they say. It's like, we come in peace. So okay, we let you in our land. We're like, hey, man, y'all eating all this grass, y'all eating these animals. To the colonizer, they're like, man, these motherfuckers is living crazy, man. They living like animals. What the fuck is wrong with these people? We need to give them some sugar. We need to teach them this. We need to teach them that.
Right.
Whole time, they know what they're doing. So they're getting these people addicted to this sugar. Now all they want to eat is sugar. They're putting sugar on everything. Now they stop eating the plants. Some of them stop eating the cooking for the animals. They're eating it. Their teeth is rotting out. They're still eating it. They're killing themselves. They're feeding it to their children. They're killing the children. And these colonizers are just slowly watching it happen, slowly watching them die, smiling in their face with them pretty blue eyes. Got these people thinking that they gods. Got these people thinking that they saviors. Now, imagine how would you feel, all right? Because this happened to the Africans, the Native Americans, any native melanated being, brown, black, on this planet that had lush land. These colonizers came over here. How would you feel if somebody ran up in your house right now and killed everybody in that motherfucker but you, and then moved their family in your house? And now you have to follow their rules. You can't speak your language no more. Your beliefs and everything that your parents taught you is evil and it's the devil. Now you have to listen to me. How would you feel? You got to follow these laws. But before these people even came here, there wasn't no fucking law.
Yeah.
How can you sit here and you come tell an indigenous man, hey, this is Jesus, this is God, this is this. Go ahead and bow your head down. Get on your knees. Close your eyes and bow your head. Now I'm on my knees and I got my eyes closed. And as soon as I open my eyes, you done fucked up my whole village. You don't burn
Mhm.
everything the fuck down, and the only thing that exists is this church. How am I supposed to go up in this church and worship the same God that inspired you to kill everybody that I fucking know? How?
Yep.
You
Yo,
killed my mom, but
what's
you want me
what's
to worship this white man? Like what?
what's crazier about that too is we go back into history and lineage too. You have their burials, they have ancestors in certain sacred spaces in the land, right?
Hmm.
Now we're gonna build that up and make that a church or a park. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
I was just
What do they
talking
do
to
with the
somebody at work
bodies?
about that.
What do they do with the bodies? I mean, if they have any ounce of, self-respect, they'll
They
move
don't.
them.
They
But yeah,
don't.
you think first of all, let's think about how that interaction would go. I'm already fucking pissed. You know what I mean? What are you saying? You're coming here, taking over, and telling me that I have to move my great 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 grandpa, whose fucking name is like the land that you're on is his name. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I have to move his body because you want to build a park or whatever. No, fuck you. So like
Facts.
coming up to a middle ground or a compromise is way out of the picture. Like we're not getting there. You know what I mean?
But they need our bodies, bro.
Mhm.
Now, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. And you
Yeah,
might know this, but if you don't know this, this shit's gonna fuck your whole world up, bro.
tell him.
But look, as you know, the human body is electrically conductive.
Fuck, let's do it.
The body can produce energy. Now, I am not the one who created these bodies. I am only the messenger. So please do not scorn me when I say this. I mean nothing bad about this when I say this. White bodies cannot do what black bodies can do.
Hmm.
White vessels do not have the same access to the same powers as the black vessels. Now, on the same way on the other side,
Hmm.
there are things that the white vessels have access to that the black vessels cannot gain access to.
Right.
These white folk came down and they seen the power, the people of the sun. The reason that the black people look the way that they look at their skin. It's melanated. What does black do? It absorbs light. They are meant to be in the sun. They are meant to absorb the sun. What does white do? It reflects light. These white, why do you think white people be glowing in the dark and shit? They really do that.
Are you saying inner earth?
I'm saying all that.
We'll talk about that later.
All that. I say everything. So you look at the nostrils of the African man, and they're wide and big. Why?
Hmm.
So as to cool the air into their nostrils, into their body. Sound crazy, but just hear me out. Now you got the whites. You look at their noses. Most of them are very narrow, and their nostrils are very small to heat the air. Now coming to go upside their body. These people, the pale people, they lived in darkness. They couldn't come out in the sun. They couldn't stay in the sun too long, so they had to move at night.
Hmm.
They lived in the mountains, the Mount Caucasus. That's where the word Caucasian comes from. They come from the mountains. They're mountain people. Even their gods sit in the mountains.
Kind of like the Vikings, right? Like from that lore.
The Vikings, the Greeks,
Yeah,
like
the Irish.
they came down from these lands and they seen it was like, damn, these black folk, man, they don't need all of this. They don't need all of that. They don't need all of that. They don't need all of this. How? How was he able to do that just by speaking? How was he able to do that with his bare hands? And I need this tool right here.
Hmm.
What is it about these motherfuckers? Then they start getting scientific. They start cutting niggas open, kidnapping motherfuckers. trying to figure out what is inside of these people that is enabling them to do it, but they can't find it. Because it's not anything physical that you can touch. So then they figure out, you know what? These motherfuckers, they're powerful. We can use their bodies. They can use their bodies, but they're not using their bodies right. So let's just use their bodies to do what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's when they would take the little kids, because unfortunately, children are the most purest beings on this planet, spiritually and physically. Their blood is clean. They don't do drugs.
And they're fresh from the spirit world too.
They're fresh from the spirit world, bro. Like they're fresh, bro. That's like the cleanest thing that you could ever take in, bro.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go that route. And that's why they go that route. So they'll take 4 children, depending on the corners. Usually there's 4 main corners of a building, no matter how it's shaped, unless the motherfucker round. 4 main corners. They will take dead children's bodies and put them in each corner of the house. They'll have whole clans, whole nations buried up under these buildings. And they will use the spiritual power and the good luck that's within these beings to support their business. They use that as a ritual to bring wealth to the business. All of these dead bodies, they disintegrate into this world. And the spiritual energy grows into the land. So the land becomes wealth itself. That's why they started putting niggas in boxes. Because they started realizing, yo, we keep killing these motherfuckers. We putting them in the ground. They coming back. Not like zombie type shit, but they reincarnating. How? How are they doing that? So then they figure out some ritualistic way. Like, all right, man, if these motherfucking bodies decompose in this box, then this spirit don't go back into the world. And the more of these spirits that we lock in these boxes, the more control we have over this planet. Funerals.
So that's kind of like the cycle where I heard of this idea where, you know, we're in this trap of reincarnation because, you know, the firmament is more than a physical container. It's more of an ethereal, spiritual container. So instead of going up, you almost get deflected and you come back and you reincarnate into something of this world.
That box is your anchor. It's your anchor into this world.
But even at that, like you're talking about actual physically burying in coffins underground. Like that whole ritual is kind of like, motherfucker, stay here type shit.
That's exactly what's happening. Like in voodoo, bro.
So hold up, before we get there, what's the ideal way? Like, do you cremate? Because I'm trying to think of how I'm gonna go. You know what I mean?
The best way, if you gonna die, don't tell nobody. Dig a hole and become one with nature. Give yourself back to the universe, bro. So what you have to do,
they're these like plant yourself as a tree, like that type of shit. What do you think about that?
I can get down with that. I can get down with that.
Mm-hmm. But what were you saying before I interrupted you? You were saying something before that? Before that? You were saying before that?
What you have to do before you put yourself back in the ground, man. This is what the Christians are talking about when they say heaven and hell. So before you put yourself back in the ground, you have to understand, man, your energy now. You no longer have a body no more. Whatever energy you cultivate in this body while you're living and walking and breathing in this vessel, because you have to understand this is your body. You're not the body. This is your body. The same way this is my pen, this is my marker, this is my book, that's my phone, this is my body.
Cars, like that's your car, but
that's why they tell you are possessed. Something has you. They have your body. Shit. It's a possession. It's a tool.
That's fucking deep, bro.
So what you have to understand is that before you leave this earth, before you become one with nature, you have to make sure that your energy is as pure as you can make it and as close to nature as you can make it. and as close to what we consider as good and pure and divine. Because once you go and you leave this body and your energy comes out in the world, you have two options. You can either disperse your evil back into this world, or you can disperse the good or the God back into the world. You become one. You become part. You become part of God. You become part of the blessing upon humanity, or you can become part of the curse.
Shit. That's like the heaven and hell lore, pretty much, right? Like that's
Yes,
all the if you look back in ancient Egypt, they weigh your heart, and from there, it's not it's less of a your punishment. It's more of a you get drafted for a team. Then is what you're saying.
exactly. Because
Wow, that's
what
fucking interesting.
what people don't understand is that we are pieces of a bigger thing. Like even the human body, bro. Like people see the human body as one giant organism. Bro,
Mhm.
the human body is composed of billions of single individual conscious living thinking processing beings, bro.
Right.
Every single cell in your body, every single atom in your body knows what it needs to do. It has a job, it is assigned, and it does it. If at any time, at any given time, the atom decides to split, it's over. If at any time your heart decides to stop beating, it's over.
Seriously.
Our bodies do everything that they're doing without us having to think about it because they think for themselves. This body, this is a damn autopilot, machinery, technology, man.
Mm-hmm.
All we are is the guide. We're like it's like we driving a Tesla, man. We just sitting up in this bitch, just doing whatever it's doing. And all we gotta do is press the right buttons to make sure we going in the right direction.
We spoke about electricity earlier, and I was telling my wife about that, and I feel like electricity, because she was like, she thinks energy is a scam. Like we have free electricity, we have free water, we have free air,
We
and what's
do.
going on? What's going on right now is pretty much. It's funny what she said. She said the government's pretty much selling water to fish right now.
That's exactly what they're doing.
It's selling water, and because I mean, we could get into is it called free water or natural water? Whatever water's
I
underground.
don't
I
know.
think it's called free water town. I can't believe.
I just call it water, man.
Yeah, it is water.
Hell yeah. Nah, I
but
just
but
that's
as
exactly
far
what they're doing though, bro. She's on to something, bro, for sure.
yeah, but I mean, as far as electricity goes, I said electricity is more of a physical, you can see form of energy. I mean, there's different waves of energy too. There's microwaves, there's Bluetooth, there's Wi-Fi, and all that. But
Yes,
electricity,
electricity is the lightning bolt. Yes.
we're conductive, like you said, like the human body, and too much electricity can kill you, right?
Hmm.
But does it really kill you, or does it just elevate you and you vibrate into another frequency on some electro shit like Spider-Man? You know what I'm saying? Who
Now
knows?
that right there, that's a
Hmm.
strong possibility, bro. But
Yeah.
the only reason that we wouldn't be able to record that is because if what you're saying is true, then we'd have to follow whoever the fuck did it into the next dimension and see what they're doing.
Yeah, but they're in like fucking infinity. So, I mean, if you could kind of put some kind of a consciousness GPS tracker, then
Hmm.
it'd be that some type of shit. But uh, also, when you're dead, electricity can bring you back to life too. Like the defibrillators and stuff.
Exactly.
And you need a certain amount of electricity as far as like your SA nodes and your heart goes to live. It's what conducts your heart rhythm and your heartbeat and all that. So I feel like electricity is more of a I feel like there's some kind of bridge between electricity and spirituality. Is there
Hmm.
anything that you've encountered with that? Because I feel like there's a lot of text out there or lore out there that probably have a lot of background in that.
So the only thing that I can really give you on that,
Hmm.
I would say that electricity and spirituality, the only connection that I can make with that is that electricity has been known and has been spoken as a further element of fire.
Mm.
And I don't really know where to take that personally. But for everything physical, there is something spiritual. So if you look at the electricity and you look at the way that it flows through the cords, then you can see the physical representation of how the energy that we refer to as the kundalini or the aura or the chakra,
Yeah.
we can associate that physical energy and that physical electricity and use that as an example of our spiritual electricity. But as far as like ritualistically, I don't really know anybody that has used electricity as a ritual other than Nikola Tesla, who was able to figure out a way to make lightning flow fluently through his body.
Right.
Like it was flowing through his body. It was flowing through his veins like blood. I
That's
don't know
fucking.
how he did it, but the only way that he could have done it, he had to have figured out his own. He had to have figured out his own frequency. He had to have figured out exactly where to put it, exactly where to stand, exactly how many volts. I'm sure he had to have worn something. I don't know what it is. But even in the African tradition, man, like Shango, for example, like I said,
Yeah, he
the
has lightning in
reason
there. That's why.
the reason that he's able to control the lightning is there's a story about Shango.
Mm.
And he was given a crown made out of copper and iron. And that crown enabled him to manipulate and direct lightning.
Fuck.
Now, you can turn yourself into a battery, bro.
Yeah, they put it in their heads for a reason.
You can turn yourself into a battery, man.
That's fucking
But
right in front of
you're
your
a
face.
conscious you're a conscious battery. Like the reason that Nikola Tesla shit didn't work is because he was foolish enough to become friends with the Americans.
He needed the money, man.
Yeah, man, but he died broke. That nigga
He,
died broke. It's fucked
yeah,
up, man. They did
he
him
signed
dirty,
that
man.
contract, bro. He didn't read the fine print.
They did that nigga dirty, man. They did him dirty as hell. I was reading the documentary, and I'm like, wait a minute, man. I was like, so this nigga died, but this person got this portion of credit for his work, and that
Yo, yeah,
person got that portion.
and they have his shit,
Something right.
bro. They have his shit still.
That shit crazy, man. But the reason his shit didn't work is because they didn't want him to tell people that shit for two reasons. One is because we already did that shit, man.
Mm.
Now, you remember the game Kingdom Hearts, right? No.
Yeah,
Uh Final Fantasy, right?
yeah, yeah. Which one?
You remember how they was taking the energy out of the earth and they was killing the planet because they was draining the energy out of the earth, right?
I didn't finish it, bro. That shit was hard.
Now I ain't
I ain't gonna
finished it
lie.
either, bro. I just know this one part from this one game. It was my dude, my homeboy, he got a motherfucking Final Fantasy, the newest one that just got remastered or some shit like that, bro. I don't know,
Oh
but
shit, yeah,
I was listening to the storyline and I was like, yo, wait a fucking second, bro. These niggas is talking some shit.
yeah.
Like, even with Sephiroth, bro, Sephiroth, that name, you can tie that name back to the the ancient Kabbalists. You got
Mm.
the 10 Sephirot. That's the tree of life. If you ever know anything about sacred geometry, and you know about the flower of life, within the flower of life is all creation.
That's
All the
that's on the Absol album cover, I think, right?
yes, yes, he knows. He knows what he knows.
Yeah.
So fuck, what the hell? I just lost it. Hold on.
Sephiroth, Final Fantasy,
Sephiroth. There we go.
Electricity.
Thank you, man. I'm glad you're right
Yeah.
here because I wouldn't have got it.
Hey.
So boom. Sephiroth, his name is Sephiroth, but he's named after the Sephirot.
Mhm.
They have a woman there, like a mother who's the mother of all them. Her name is Jehovah. God's name, one of his many broad names in his world. Jehovah. Now, not only is Sephiroth a play on the word Sephirot, but it's also a play on seraphim.
That's the
Seraphim is
angel.
an angel.
Yeah.
Yes. Now, I want you to look something up for me since we here, bro. Because I was gonna do my own video on TikTok, but I'm just gonna let it happen right here.
Tell him.
So, look up the seraphim, but look it up as seraphim serpent, because the word Sarah, it means serpent. The seraphims are flaming serpents in the heavens that God used to come down on humans.
Hold up, that's not it.
I wish I could pull it up on my shit.
They're like, we got into it on the last podcast about seraphims, but they almost
They're
like
flaming
dragons,
serpents.
right? Yeah,
Yes.
fucking dragons
Like,
right here.
Yup, that one right there.
Bro, if you look back too, they have like in ancient Aztec religions, they have these fucking all over the walls and like
even in Egypt, man.
In Egypt, yeah.
There was a flaming serpent, man. Now there was a flying serpent. Now what you have to understand is that there is a possibility that theoretically they weren't actual flying snakes. This was a representation. It was an aerial reptilian being. Now, there's this thing on the Gnostics. Since we're just gonna go ahead and go into the Archons, bro. So,
bro.
the Gnostics believe that the actual God, the actual force of creation, has no face, has no shape, has no gender. I can agree with that. All right. They believe that the physical world was created by a lower god named Yaldabaoth, or Yaldabaoth, excuse me, or the Demiurge, which you can look him up, and it's the lion-headed serpent. He had subjects, which were called the Archons.
Hold up, let me bring up the homie. Francis, what's up, man? You came in just in time.
Hello, man.
What's up, sir? How are you doing?
Doing all right. You don't have to serve me though. We good.
Baba my man.
For sure, bro.
Yes, sir.
So we were talking about like how back then ancient civilization they were advanced more so in the spiritual side, how they're in touch with lightning. And before we get into the Archons, man, and Demiurge, which is perfect for Francis to get in, we were talking about what you thought electricity was spirituality, and you said flame. Fucking look at your background right there. And a certain temperature, when flame is super hot, it turns blue, and lightning is kind of blue, right? And you would say Prometheus,
the blue flame is like perfect combustion.
Fire was given to you by the gods, which lightning could have easily struck down and gave, cavemen. Shout out to the cavemen. Fire,
That's what the Bible was talking about when they would say they made fire come from the sky. It was lightning.
Right. Damn, bro, that's fucking crazy. So, as far as so you kind of like how water transfers from being ice to being vapor,
Precisely, my friend. Yes.
What is it? Plasma now? They're finding out plasma is a form now. It's finally being recognized. So you're saying fire and electricity is kind of in the same gradient and spectrum. Sheesh. Yo, and also, Francis, we were talking about like how ancient kings, they wore crowns and stuff and all this, all these gold and stuff and copper. It's more so to be conductive to electricity because there's something with
it's to emit a specific
electricity.
So there's
go ahead.
Oh, I'm saying so that's mainly the reason why it was such a precious metal. It wasn't just for the glitz and glamour. It was more to like attract a certain like high frequency vibe. Is that what you're trying to say? Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like you have to think about it, man. Like
Hmm.
there's copper in the batteries, my dude.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
true.
Like
Computers.
there's
There's
Computers.
precious
copper in
metals and there's
computers.
precious metals in computers.
Yeah.
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 And think about it. All right, so you look in your phone, you look at all the main technology that we got, right? Because people don't even realize like everything that we have around us is a form of nature. But the reason it looks the way it does is because it's unnatural. They're doing unnatural things with nature. We're living in artificial caves. We call them houses. We're taking artificial herbs and we're calling them pills and medicine.
Hey, shout
Like,
out to the metaverse.
yeah, man.
Artificial bitches too.
Facts. So, you know, the main crystal in our phones that creates the electricity when combined with the copper is the quartz.
Quartz. Okay.
They used quartz crystals and other conductive crystals to create the limestone covering that was on the pyramid.
Damn, that's
The
crazy.
pyramids used to be giant energy sources. The Tesla coil was inspired by the technology of the pyramids. There were big energy plants.
Mm-hmm.
They powered everything around them. And they did it with their own bodies. The pharaohs, they had to have a specific type of frequency to channel the gods that were giving them this information. Because the same, like all that democracy and all that shit, it came from Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody came into the land and corrupted the ways of the Egyptians, and then they started putting kingship on these people.
Would you
And they
say it's
started.
the Roman Empire? I just played Assassin's Creed, so that shit's fresh in my memory.
It's just like that, like the same way that you know how we have this conspiracy theory that well, I ain't gonna say we, but you know how the collective has this conspiracy theory that there's other inhuman forces that are using the presidents as puppets for their own goal.
Oh yeah,
That
definitely.
same thing happened in Egypt.
I see.
These beings were using the most strongest, the most intelligent people as leaders, as vessels for their energy, as anchors in this world because they can't come in this world physically. So they would teach these pharaohs how to construct these ornaments and how to construct these structures so as to bring, I say, kind of like the same way that Megatron was trying to bring his planet on the Earth
Mm-hmm.
is what they was doing.
Damn.
Even in the ancient Mayan and Aztec cultures, they referred to their city as an exact replica, as a representation of the underworld,
Mm.
of the world of the gods. This is what the world of the gods looks like. The gods brought their world here. They gave us a portion of their world. And if you listened to them and you did what they said, then they rewarded you. But if you didn't, then you got killed. Now, to take this all the way back to the quartz and the copper thing, again, they taught them, here, man, put this crystal right here. It has to be X amount inches long, X amount inches wide. You got to cut it this many facets so that it can reflect this, that, and the third. And you have to wear this because this right here is going to absorb all of the spiritual energy and all of my vibration. Your human body alone will not be able to contain it and you will die. It will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Put this on so that you can regulate this energy. And that's how they did that. It's the same way with the chest plate for the 12 tribes of Jerusalem. When they had the gold and they put the 12 crystals, it was 4 rows of 3,
Mm-hmm.
I think it was, for the 12 tribes of Jerusalem. Or even the Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah, the Ark of the Covenant.
The Ark of the Covenant was, again, it was a vessel for the Holy Spirit. It was a vessel. And it contained the 3 main things. They had they said they had the manna, which was the food that they ate, which is a mysterious food that some people say was like some sort of extraterrestrial all nutrient superfood that they would eat in the
Sounds like
desert.
mushrooms to me. That's how I
Could
interpret it.
be.
Because if you think about it, fungus could have been, life forms that might have latched on from asteroids over here. Like, if you look
That's
into fungi,
essentially what they are, man. Like that's
yeah,
what we are. Like if you look at the DNA of a fungi, we're more closely related to fungi than we are anything else in this bitch, man.
yeah, isn't
That's
that fucking
crazy.
crazy? That's
That's
crazy as fuck.
crazy.
Bro, and like they're so smart, you eat them and they just hijack your mind. You know what I mean? And if you, I mean, Last of Us is based on like a fungi kind of
Now
zombie.
imagine what happened if you eat an alien.
Yeah, it's what I wanted. Like, eat me, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want.
Like everything carries energy, man. Like that's why the cannibals. That's why they eat people
Hmm.
because they get powers from the people.
That's
Yeah,
wild.
that's
That's
crazy.
why they eat them.
Ooh.
So I'm telling you, I'm telling you.
I looked into the Hawaiian people too, and that's kind of what King Kamehameha believed in. He believed in mana. And when you kill your enemy, I think you eat them and you absorb their mana and their power. You know what I mean?
The life is in the blood, man.
Bro, imagine that though. Imagine like conquering and taking over kings, and each king, like on some, like I just played Assassin's Creed. Each king that you like killed, you ate. You know how powerful you'd feel after the 10th one, bro? Like, ain't nobody fucking with me.
That's
Not at all,
wild.
bro. Not
Like,
at
that's
all.
what you say, that you kind of do get possessed by their
You
spirit.
get possessed.
You know what I mean? That's
Because
crazy.
not only you have to understand, bro. Like once you taste blood, bro, it's over for you.
So I've heard. So I've heard.
What you taste once you taste blood, it's over for you. You taste the right blood, it's a wrap.
There's
If you
a
taste
there's a dish.
tainted blood,
There's a dish in the Filipino culture called dinuguan. I think it's like just pork blood stew, bro.
Hmm.
I don't eat it, but how good is that shit, Francis?
I mean, it's
that's
alright.
dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not you're talking about like live blood.
Live blood, like
Mm.
straight out the vein with the heart still pumping. That's the only way.
Mm.
So like adrenochrome then comes into play.
That's exactly what it is. Yes.
That's all crazy as shit.
Yo, so just to recap before we get into Archons, because I want to get into Archons, is we were saying, which was interesting, is when you die, because we're talking about money, first of all, right? It's almost like a sigil and a talisman of their old dead deities and their old dead, idols. And what do we do for money? We work our asses off. We sacrifice our creativity and our soul for money. And how do you counter that? Well, we talked about Gnosticism and the Archons. You kind of just have to change your perspective on it and kind of be detached from it and just kind of see it as a tool. But we talked about heaven and hell and how that's not more so it's less of a punishment and more so as you get drafted to an evil team or you get drafted to the good team based on how you live and based on how your soul is on this dimension. You know what I mean? And he talked about how when we bury ourselves in the ground, the firmament almost is more so of a spiritual container. So we kind of just reincarnate into beings on Earth. And that kind of is the Demiurge kind of. But that's kind of a shitty explanation and shitty intro to what we're going to talk about, which are the Archons and Gnosticism. I tried, bro.
Nah, you good, bro. You
Let's
good.
get into it, man. Archons are I feel like the agents that kind of try to keep Yaldabaoth, right? Because Yaldabaoth is the deity that got casted down, almost kind of like a Lucifer that downgraded from a dimension. And now that he's stuck here, he just creates. And so he created the world and created, the physical world. And it's not I don't want to look and put a dualistic tone on it, not so evil or good. It's just what it does, it just creates, right?
Facts.
And it needs to feed. So what it feeds off of is life forms and energy. So
Yes.
we're purposely getting trapped into this matrix for it to feed. So, I mean, if you want to cascade that and fractalize and zoom into that, that's kind of why they use people and our energy, kind of like the matrix as batteries to either fund monetarily, which is kind of the transference of energy. This is crazy recapping it right now. Transference of energy to their deities. And if you take it far to a spiritual side, like you kind of play into this world spiritual. It's not even a worldview anymore. It's a spiritual view of, oh, I'm going to go to heaven. You go to a good side, and now you're just kind of part of the influencing the world, stay in this realm kind of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about the Archons right now. Take it away, my man.
So, as he said, the Baal, that's his name.
Mhm.
He was created, and this is sourced in the book called The Hidden Gospel of John. Was it John? Or was it Judas? I don't remember. Damn. I think it's one of the hidden Gnostic texts. But his mother was a female aspect of the unknown, the unfaced, the no face, the no gender God, the mother and father is what they used to call it. So this specific order that they had going on is that everybody took place in the creation. But creation could not happen without the whole collective sanctioning the creation and taking part. You're not allowed to create by yourself without the blessing of the creator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this one decided that she wanted to create because she felt that she could. I don't know. She created, but she did not have the light of God, the creator, and she did not have the blessing of the collective. So what she created was hideous to her, and how it was depicted was the lion-headed serpent. She was immediately terrified, is how this was written down.
She was like ashamed of it, right?
Yes, and she opened up a lower sphere of heaven, and she placed him in there by herself. Now, he didn't know anything that came before him. So in his mind, he's the only God. He is the all-powerful. This is his universe.
Mm-hmm.
He starts creating subjects, and he starts giving them just enough power to listen. But he never passes the light from his mother. He doesn't know where he got it from, but he knows that it's important, and he knows that's what's giving him the power over this universe.
Mm-hmm.
He creates all these things. He rules over these things, tells these things he is their master. He is their only master. But then something happens. Something else makes an announcement. Is how it's written down. And there's a reflection in the water of the first man. Now, this is before it became a physical being. Now, before man manifested, we were one androgynous spiritual being. We were not male or female. Some of you could say we was both, but we was not physical yet.
Just to give some grounds on that, as if you look into a fetus developing, like there is a period where you're neither male or female. I mean,
yes,
you would say that you're kind of female, and that's just because it's not. I mean, just look into it.
We're technically all female. Like males, I could say in the most respectful way possible, because I'm a male myself. But we're broken women.
I mean, depends what your metric is. If your metrics are tits and balls, you know what I mean, then it's up to that. But you're talking about, it's more so of a
biologically, like physically, like fleshly speaking, the male body is a deformation,
right?
Is an alteration of a female body. We have nipples, my dog. Why?
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no damn milk coming out these bitches, bro. What purpose do my nipples serve? They don't serve any purpose. The only thing that nipples is used for is to feed. What am I feeding with these nipples? There's nothing coming out of here.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, I would sell my nipples, bro, straight up.
Like even if you like you look at down to your balls, my dude. If you look at the human anatomy, you look through the flesh, and you look at the testes. If you look at the wires that they're connected to, you compare it to the ovaries. I'm telling you,
they look similar.
This is gonna sound funny, but a dick, the penis itself, the shaft, the tip, is just an enlarged, extended clitoris.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, The ovaries are inside the body, but they fall out of the body. And when they fall out of the body, they need something to hold them because they can't just hang out. So then a pocket of skin is created, and the slit and the opening of the vagina is closed, and then the ball sack is created.
Damn, I never thought of it
Just
like that.
before we get back into this, I feel like now I think about Adam and Eve because I was telling my wife about the homunculus and how maybe Adam and Eve were a homunculus and Jesus Christ was a homunculus, but we'll get into that later. But the story is Eve was created out of Adam's rib, right? But I think that's perverted now. I think man was created out of female.
It has to, even down to our birth.
Hijack shit, bro.
Even down like that's what I was getting into back then, like with the Archons, bro. Like before we knocked Asherah off of the throne beside Yahweh, before we took away the power of this is gonna be funny, bro. That's her name though. Her name is Nut. That's the name or Newt, however you want to pronounce it, but it's spelled like Nut.
I like
Nut and Newt of Egypt, and then you got Gaia of Mother Earth. Before we destroyed the idea of females being divine, women ran this planet, bro.
Boom. That was mentioned like a few episodes ago that, who's really running the world? You know what I mean? Maybe males just like getting the credit, right? Maybe we like driving, but what if the females are running it from the passengers?
Bro, that's how it always is, bro.
Yeah.
You got to think about it, man. A woman is the strongest person on this planet. She's not allowed to be truly who she is. So we don't even know what women even actually are because they have to shut up and listen. Women are strong enough to be quiet and let the ego of a man live. So while the man is walking around, the whole time
it's really us.
Like the whole time she's sitting down and she's analyzing everything that we're doing. She's analyzing everything we're saying. She's looking at every aspect of our being, the way that our head is swaying when we speak, the way that this, that, and the third. She already knows more about us than we know about ourselves.
Bro, just to go back into the rap music, now the female psyche is getting hijacked, bro. You know what I mean? They're taking their power back in a different way. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like the woman on the beast type shit way now.
You see, men use brute force. Women are using Women are using their spirits. Women are using their mouth. Women are taking back everything that rightfully belongs to them just by doing this. They don't have to lift a finger. That's what makes them more powerful than men.
Fucking
just
crazy.
by that alone. Off rip. Even down to the way that women punish people is different than us, bro. A man,
just like not talking. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like a woman, bro, she will fuck with your soul.
Facts.
She will take your soul, and the fact that a woman has that much power, bro, like, what does that say? There's a reason why they burnt the witches, man. Because you got to think about it. How are you gonna call my grandma a witch for teaching you how to put your son to sleep with lavender, but then after you kill my grandma, then you release her recipe through the pharmacy as medicine?
Right.
It don't make sense.
Yeah.
They just don't want the women to have power. So in a sense, there's a celestial familial problem. All right. There's a celestial dad, there's a celestial mom, and there's a celestial child with mommy issues.
Mm-hmm.
And he for some reason he ain't fucking with mom. For some reason he don't like mom. So he's wiping out anything that reminds him of mom. Even the physical manifestation of mom, the woman. This was his way of dominating that. So when we go back to Yaldabaoth, he ends up learning through the reflection of this creation that he's not the only one. So then he starts getting jealous. Now it's, I'm a jealous God. Don't worry about anything else. Just worship me. Just worship me. Only me. Me.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, let's make something. Let's create a human of our own, man. Fuck that over there. Don't worry about that. Let's just do this Let's create something in our own image. Let's do that. So then each collective individual was responsible for building each individual part of the body. Is how that was written down. Anyway. Now you got to think about it, man. Let's just do an estimate, man. Let's say how many muscles in the body. Let's just say just for the fuck of it, we got 1 million muscles in our body. For every millionth muscle in our body, there was somebody assigned to each little nick and cranny. Every single atom of our being, there was somebody attached to it that was responsible for it. Somebody built the left eye. Somebody built the right eye. Somebody built the forehead. So somebody built everything. Everything is built by somebody.
Yeah.
Right. Because we literally, even in science will tell you that the contents of our DNA, you can find the contents that make us. Nigga, we got stardust in our bodies. We got plant material. We got, we're related to everything in the world, bro. We are the world, bro.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So, boom. He created this being, and now he just has this empty shell, this empty vessel. Now, this is an important part of the story. The reason that children are born stillborn is because there is no spirit to animate the body. Even if the body fully develops in the womb, if there is no spirit that is called and binded into the womb to manifest onto this planet, the body is nothing more than an empty shell.
Mm-hmm.
So, he had to breathe the breath of life, but he didn't want to do that. Now, God, the actual God, how it's written down anyway, he sends 3 orbs of light, or 5 orbs, can't remember. Now, what those orbs of light are is debatable. They could be UFOs, they could be angels, whatever. But they're the hosts, the heavenly hosts. They come down and they decide to trick this man into breathing his breath of life into this being. Because God's plan, the real God's plan, was to take this creation away from Yaldabaoth and to establish his own rule over it, to use it for good, to take it away from the evil that Yaldabaoth is trying to create, because he doesn't realize what he's doing because he doesn't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So that's exactly what he does. He breathes the life into the being, and immediately it glows in all brilliance, and it becomes in the likeness of God. Immediately it becomes aware of everything. It can see everything. It can hear everything. It is everything. It's connected to everything. Yaldabaoth got afraid. He was very afraid. So then he goes, yo, y'all check this out, man. Look at this shit right here, bro. This thing right here we created is becoming too powerful, man. Look at it. Look at the way it's looking. Look at the things that it can see. Look at all the things. What if it realizes what it is, man? If it realizes what it is, and it realizes that it's immortal, this thing is even more powerful than us, man. We can't have this, man. We're gonna have to do something about this.
Mm-hmm.
So boom, they create a whole other world, the physical world, and they separate the androgynous being that was once male and female, the Shiva and Shakti. They separate it, and they take one part of it and they put it in this vessel, and they take the other part of it and they put it in this vessel. Another way that is told by the Gnostics is that when they say Eve was taken from Adam's rib, it's that Eve was taken from Adam's spirit directly, and Eve is the light of God. And that is why a man needs woman, so that when they come together and come in unison, they create one being, and that is God.
Mm. Huh.
So then he casts them out and he distracts them with a physical world. He distracts them with physical labor. And throughout the thousands and millions of years, as humans evolve in their respective traditions and cultivation and stuff like that, then we become worshipers of the flesh, worshipers of a physical God, worshipers of money, worshipers of food, worshipers of work. We don't know anything about ourselves. We're told that we're nothing. And the only source that we have to find out anything good about ourselves is this. Not to mention the many other Archons that fell onto this planet. How they fell? If you want to think that they fell off of clouds and broke their backs when they landed, that's cool. If you want to believe that they flew around in planet-shaped Nibiru ships, that's fine too. But they came down this motherfucker, or they came up, depending on what you believe.
Right.
They came to this realm.
Bring some context into that. So the Demiurge is pretty much Yaldabaoth, right? He's pretty much. It's crazy because I looked into it. If you read the Bible, the Old Testament God is way different from the New Testament God. And what did it take? It took sacrificing, somebody. It took a blood sacrifice in order for God to. You'd be like, you know what? As long as you accept this, I forgive you. So the Old Testament God, I feel like, is talking more about the Demiurge, which is Yaldabaoth, which is, the jealous being. And it almost sounds like if you want to understand this in more of like Marvel MCU type shit, it's almost like he got casted into a mirror dimension, right? Like Wanda did in that fucking multiverse of fucking madness shit. And instead of coming back out, he just fucking created, right? He's like, fuck it, I'm here anyways. I'm gonna create. To now,
he got bored. Maybe just floating in space. What can I do?
Yeah, it's not his bad, and he got transferred to that mirror dimension as a baby. You know what I mean? That's all it's known, right? And then, are you saying that from there, God from the actual world kind of hijacked into and
he hijacked the creation, and then as life transfers into the New Testament, the reason that the blood sacrifice stops is because the humans learn that you cannot trade death for life. You cannot do it.
Yo, just to bring weight to that, I mean, fucking Isaac was about to get sacrificed in the name of God. Like, there were a lot of human sacrifices.
That's kind of fucked up too, bro. I don't like that shit. Like, every time I read that shit, I be like, yo, God, bro, you wildin', bro.
Yeah.
Like, he was like,
all right.
He was like, hey, yo, you really rocking with me for real?
Hey, you're down, dog.
For real?
You're down, bro.
You really down? If you really down, kill your son then, nigga. If you down for real, kill your son right now.
Hey, dog, 20 virgins. How many you want? 22?
He's like, okay, I'll kill him. And then he's going in the back. He's in the damn chariot. He's like, hey, yo, this nigga really about to kill his son. He pulled up. He's like, here I am, God. I got the knife.
Year One with what's his face? Michael Cera.
Yeah, with Jack Black and that.
Yeah, Jack Black. Yeah,
bro,
that was funny.
He had fucking McLovin in his eyes. Like, he's like, Dad, where are we going? And he's like,
what are you doing? Who are you talking to?
God's will be done.
That shit was funny as hell. Like, you read the Bible. And then Isaac knew what was happening, bro. That nigga was like, wait a minute, man, something ain't right. Yeah. Like, he's looking at his dad. He's like, hey, yo, Pop, you said we coming up here to give an offering, right? He's like, yes, my son, yes. Well, where's the offering, bro? Well, we got the knife, we got the wood, nigga. We got the fire.
There's a rope.
We got the rope, nigga. Like, what?
Fucking sharpening the knife.
Where's the offering? He's like, don't worry. God is going to provide the offering, my son. What the fuck you mean by that? Boom.
Damn. That's crazy.
He's like, here I am, God. I'm about to kill him right now. I'm doing it for you. And God's like, whoa, chill, bro. Chill, bro. I was just playing, bro. I didn't think you was really going to do it, man. Damn. Like, what? Every time I read that story, I'm like, yo, man, that's fucked up, man. But nah, bro. Like, you go to the New Testament, and then there's a new guy comes out of nowhere.
Straight up, change it.
He's like, hey,
merciful.
He's like, what are y'all doing?
Even if you're Jeffrey Dahmer, as long as you accept me, come on in. I have a house for you.
Exactly. So he's like, you want to know why they killed Jesus, bro? They killed Jesus because theoretically now, they killed Jesus for two reasons. One, because he was telling the truth, but two, because he went against the truth that he learned under. He went up under all these elites' heads and he learned everything that they learned. Now I'm gonna give y'all something. All right. Now in the Muslim religion, Jesus is known as Isa. Okay,
Damn.
ISA. Now, in Asia, in the Tibetan monks, and even in India, there was a record of a man named Isa that traveled into these lands and learned under these people. Jesus is said to even have learned under the Egyptians in the pyramids. And
Yeah.
so Moses, so was Moses. Moses was one of the ones who started the whole monotheism thing and got people under that branch. Now, fuck. I lost myself. Hold on.
Let me just build on that. Isa, you're talking about
Isa, there we
Isa
go. Yep.
and the Egyptians. He learned from the Egyptians.
Yeah.
But so that's pretty interesting. I was wondering too, like I wanted to get into words or spells and all that, but I want to get into this first. Like Jesus. So if you look at the Bible, it says there's power in his name, right? You speak Jesus, people have to accept Jesus in Jesus' name at the end of every prayer. Jesus, saying Jesus will ward off the spirits. But that ain't even his fucking name, bro. You know what I mean? Like in the Bible, it's Yeshua, and if you translate Yeshua into English, it's Josh, right, or Joshua. So imagine, I saw this TikTok saying like, imagine like I say, hey, go to the club tonight. Say Michael, and it's obviously me, Jarrell. You go to the club and they're like, hey, yeah, Michael said he's here. I'm like, what the fuck is Michael? Dude, Michael said, and it's like, no, dude, I gave you the wrong name, but like, Yeshua might have not even been from like Esau. So it's crazy because the Jesus story, there's a lot of fragments of that, and he did travel around because back in his time, trade routes were very common and present in his time. Plus, where he was at too, so there were a lot of avenues for travel to. I heard he went to fucking Japan. I heard he went to London, to Europe. And
he went everywhere. Everybody knows him as a different name. He wasn't allowed to keep the same name, and every time he went somewhere, he changed his appearance.
Mm-hmm.
He did it on purpose because he realized he's like, man, these motherfuckers be trying to kill my ass, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. That's why I would, if I saw white Jesus, I'd be like, for sure. You know what I'm saying? They don't look like me. Let's roll with that. Yeah. That's interesting to think about it that way. But yeah, he was the OG. Like he was the original person that was canceled. Everything he said was blasphemous. Which
it's because he went against everybody, bro. Like when he was learning under the Brahmins were taught by the Aryans. Now, the Aryans were these white-skinned beings, bright-skinned, silver-skinned, white-skinned, however you want to remember them. These beings that came down, and it is said that the whole racism thing originated with the Aryans when they came into India, and they taught the lighter skinned people that they were closer to gods because they had lighter skin. And that they were more important than the black people because the black people were dark and their dark skin represented darkness and they were demons and they were evil.
Which makes no sense if you factor in that we're a species that live on the surface of the earth.
Mm-hmm. So they got these people fooled into thinking that they're more important than their own brothers. And then, fuck, I lost myself again. What the fuck?
Yo, just to bring Francis back too, we were talking about how the Vikings kind of came from the mountains and how Africans they evolved to be able to absorb the sun and they're conditioned kind of for it, and how white people could possibly be from inner earth. But just to tie this back into what we were talking about, the Archons. Were the Archons from another realm? Did they land here and then like make some kind of deal with Yaldabaoth? Or Yaldabaoth kind of just had to make something to kind of enforce, hey, these guys are kind of woke. We gotta make some agents. I call them the Agent Smiths, right? If you want to talk about the Matrix and shit. So are they from another planet or were they of Yaldabaoth like we are?
Well, some sources will say that they are from another realm. But for the sake of the Gnostic text, we'll just say that they were creations of Yaldabaoth.
Mm-hmm.
And they were assigned to make sure to take part in the distraction. So you had some of them who would incarnate on this earth as gods, and they would trick the humans. Be like, okay, look at my powers. Look at all this stuff that I can do. You know what I mean? You want to do this too? Well, you got to worship me and you got to do this. So now they got these people focused on rituals and prayers, anything to keep them away from their own spirit. And even the ones that thought that they was breaking through all 7 chakras, nope. You're just being tricked into raising to a high enough vibration to be useful to a force that has power over you that you will never understand.
Damn.
That's how they used to do it. Like there's this man named Credo Mutwa, African dude, who spoke about these beings called the Chitauri. And there were 3-eyed reptilian beings with 2 eyes in the face and 1 eye that stood up in the middle of the forehead like that. And it always stayed closed, but the moment that it opened, it could destroy you with one gaze. Now, I thought that was very interesting because he also said that these things could shapeshift, and that they trick humans into believing that they're gods, and then they get these people to sacrifice these animals, and then they feed off of the death, and they feed off of all this energy, and they're giving life to these spirits and allowing these spirits to continue to be on Earth. So these humans become portals for these spirits to move through Earth.
Pretty much.
The offerings that they leave become anchors to the planet, where our body and our casket is our anchor for our spirits to continue to be here. Their casket or their anchor or their vessel is the rock or the goat or whatever you leave. So, don't do it. Okay, so he said that they describe themselves as gods. And I thought that was very interesting because the way that he describes them, how they have the 2 regular eyes, 2 yellow eyes, and the 1 deadly eye. I thought that was very interesting because Shiva of the Hindu pantheon, all right, and you from Indonesia, they have a version of Shiva out there. I forgot what it's called. They got a version of Shiva and Kali Ma out there, but there is this being named Shiva who is part of the Holy Trinity in the Hindu pantheon. Shiva is the destroyer, Brahma is the creator, and Vishnu is the mediator, the one that keeps balance between creation and destruction. Now, Shiva is depicted as a man. He has blue skin, and he has 3 eyes. But every time he opens that 1 eye, he can kill you immediately, fry your shit. So I'm like, that's interesting. And then they got these people out here. Because the Hindus, bro, they're way more ahead in a lot of shit than us. They used to be called the teachers of the world.
Right.
What the shit that they knew and did. So they believe in these people called the Naga. The Naga are reptilian people, snake people. Now, how they depict these people as reptilians, they'll depict the person and then they'll put a cobra hood behind their head. That's not to say that there's a cobra behind them. It's to let you know that these people are reptilian beings. But you're never allowed to see the reptilians in their actual form. Never. If you see the reptilians in their natural form, they have to kill you.
Kind of.
They don't want us. They don't want us to see that shit.
Kind of reminds me of like the popes. You know, they wear all these fucking weird ass fucking hats and shit. What if those are all just kind of symbolism to what really is? Because I was talking about this with a friend last time. Like, if you look at the Vatican, there's a lot of like snake symbolism too. So, the serpent that plays into Gnosticism too, right? Some would say, damn, this is where it gets crazy because everything's hijacked, right? Now we talked about the breath of life, right? How the God intervened with the dimension, the mirror dimension, let's call it, that the Demiurge was inhabiting, and breathed into a life form that kind of hijacked. Now that kind of reminds me of the Garden of Eden.
Yes.
So what if the
That's essentially
serpent?
that's essentially basically a piece of that story that wasn't given. You know, there were many texts that were removed from the Bible, man. And these
Yeah.
texts are called the apocryphal texts. They were
Hmm.
removed from the Bible. One of those important texts is the book of Enoch. In the Bible, you notice that Enoch is spoken about in the beginning and in the end of the Bible, but nobody speaks again about him. It just says Enoch walked with God and he was not, but it don't tell you what happened. And the
Right.
reason that it doesn't tell you what happened is because, and when you start reading the book of Enoch, then you start noticing that all of these things that the Bible tried to tell you was a miraculous thing that happened, it wasn't a miraculous thing that happened. It was predestined. And on top of that, they give you the names of the sons of God. Because in the book of Genesis, I think it was chapter 2, verse 5, or chapter 5, verse 2. I don't remember. But
Mhm.
in the book of Genesis, it says that the sons of God came down upon the women of men,
All
and
right. Right.
they took wives. Now, in the book of Enoch, it says that there was angels assigned to watch over humanity. Now they was watching the humans, they was watching the things that they was doing, and they start seeing these women, and they start watching them grow up, and they turn into grown women, and they start looking at this sexual encounter that these humans are doing. They're like, what is this?
Hmm.
This is interesting. Then they seeing the women give birth. They're like, these beings can create. Why can't we do that? What is this? I want that. We're gonna have to figure out a way to manifest into a sexually compatible being so that we can create our own children. We can take this world for ourselves.
That's
They shook
fucking
on it, and it was like, all right, man. Now their leader, Samyaza, at first he was like, man, y'all niggas tripping, man. What are y'all doing? We're not out here for none of that. But then they convinced them, and they was like, all right, man. Well, maybe if we all do it together, then we can go down together. Instead of you getting to going down for what we do, we can just all go down together. How about that? He was like, oh, okay, cool. Fuck it, let's do it then. As long as I don't catch fire, I'm good. So they take wives.
yeah.
Now, they didn't ask these bitches. Some of them literally snatched them up.
Hmm.
That's why. That's why certain traditions of women. That's why they wrap their hair, because the hair was their symbol of beauty. So they would wrap the hair. And for some reason, when you wrapping your crown, you protecting your crown. I don't know. I guess it's like a shield. I don't really know spiritual significance, man.
Well,
I can only
isn't
feel
there
it.
isn't there spiritual significance with hair? Like, isn't
Yes,
hair like
your
a
hair is like an antenna,
conductivity?
man. It picks up energy.
Yeah.
If I want you to do an experiment one day, it don't matter how long your hair is. Bro. It don't even matter if you bald for real.
Hmm.
Go out in public all day and just pay attention to how you feel. And the next day, wrap your hair and go out in public and pay attention to pay attention to how much sharper you hear. Pay attention to how much sharper you see. Pay attention to how less connected you feel to everything around you. And pay attention to how much more connected you feel to yourself. How less often you pick up the emotions of others.
When you say wrap your hair, like kind of just wearing like a hat or like a do rag, or
Uh,
what do you
a
mean?
do rag, a t-shirt, anything
Like
that
a
can
beanie?
completely cover your head.
Okay.
Yes, sir. So
Hmm.
anything, a damn towel, whatever whatever you need. A hat is fine too, like a regular hat. Just make sure
It's
you know
funny.
this.
It's funny you mentioned that because when I used to live in New York, for a few months, when it was cold, I would just wear like a straight up beanie. But
Mhm.
I'd really feel more in tune with myself, like being more in my mind and like kind of catch myself talking to myself more often while walking the streets or in the subway. But when it was like hot, I'm not wearing no beanie. I'm just wearing my hair. I'm just very like observant of everything that's going around me and not being in tune with myself. So that's good. That's cool that you mentioned that. I'll keep that in mind more often.
You know what's interesting too? We talked about the crowns and stuff. Like I sweat a lot, bro. So when we used to play basketball, Francis knows, like I'm
Yeah.
steaming sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you know, I'm steaming in front of the light, bro, that steam's coming from my head.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's
That's
power,
like,
bro.
it's like, yeah, it's like a chimney pretty much. It's your energy. So yeah, that's an interesting ass experiment, actually. Pretty
Yes.
cool.
Like the elders know what they're talking about, man. And
Mhm.
sometimes when the elders speak, it don't make sense, and we're like, man, what the fuck are you talking about, old lady? But when you do it, then you know. Like there's many, like for example, take psychedelics for example, right?
Yeah.
Drugs in general. These things alter your mind. They take your mind into realms and they give you access to areas of your mind that you would not normally have access to with a sober mind. Now, back in the day, the Indians were smoking on opium, which is this damn near the same plant that's used to make the opiates, cocaine.
Mhm.
It's a stimulant. It make you think more, but only in controlled doses. If you abuse it, you become addicted and you destroy yourself. Same thing with sugar. You eat a cookie every now and then, it's cool. You eat cookies every day, yo, you rot your whole mouth out. Same thing with shrooms, LSD, and other DMT, and all that other shit. There's many other things. This is where religion comes from. Damn near. This is where philosophy comes from. It comes from people opening up their minds and accepting what's happening. Like, if you read the side effects of these drugs and you read the rituals that they're doing and you copy this shit and you see it for yourself, you start understanding. It's like, wait a minute, man. This shit is not evil. It can't be evil because what's happening right now is that I'm feeling my body. I'm not hallucinating. There's not spiders crawling all over my arm, nigga. I'm feeling my blood flow through my veins. I'm conscious now. I can hear my heartbeat through my fucking chest. I can hear it. I can hear through walls. I can hear everything. I can see things that aren't there. All these realms are clashed into each other. They're not separate. They only appear to be separate because we're right here and we're focused on this.
Right.
Sound is measured in hertz. Whatever we can see, I don't know what it's measured in, decibels, whatever, I don't fucking know. But there's a certain limit of sight and a certain limit of hearing that humans cannot hear past or see past. When you take those psychedelics, you break the walls, all these EMF waves that they're putting into the air, you break past all the limitations that they're creating on you, and you become God, like a God. I would compare the psychedelic to the forbidden fruit, because it's like you're reborn, like you see in the eyes, you're seeing through the eyes of a pure child again. You know good and evil now. I've seen the same things that they talk about in the Bible off that shit, man. And
yeah, there's a lot of text that maybe suggests that, you know, some of the significant encounters with God, like even Moses was a psychedelic experience, right?
The burning bush,
right?
It was like that bush, like the Native Americans, right? So I don't know the exact plant, and I hate it when I don't know things, man, because I be trying to be as on point as possible. But there's this plant. So let's say, for example, I want this plant right here. This is the ritualistic plant. So we take this plant, and then we take it and we put it right here. Then we get a cloth, and we put it over our head, and we set the shit on fire, and then we put the smoke. We put our faces in the smoke. It alters our mind. It makes us see things, makes us hear things. And then we've spoken to the spirits, and we do what we do according to what the Spirit say. That's what Moses was doing. He was burning some sort of mind-altering substance. Some people like to joke and be like, "Oh man, that nigga burnt a bush of weed." That just
Yeah.
depends. That just depends on whether or not that specific plant was native in that area. If marijuana grows native out there, or even if they cultivated it and had it on their own, then yes. But you have to understand that weed is not the only psychoactive plant on the planet. There are actually plants outside of your house right now that'll get you high if you cook them right. But we only know about weed. So you have to keep in mind, bro. Like this is America, right? The Native Americans was here first.
Mm-hmm.
They knew every plant, and they was healing niggas with plants that we be chopping down as weeds, man.
Right.
We're growing all the poisonous plants, and we killing all the ones that heal us. We're growing the pretty ones. The pretty ones are poisonous. Beauty is poisonous. The pretty frogs, poison.
Yep.
The pretty flowers, poison.
I mean, even like in
Pretty
today's
fish,
world, like the most perfect looking female is kind of
poison.
toxic. You know what I mean? I mean, let's just be physical, like, you know, plastic surgery and all that. Like that's actually factually poison. But
Yeah.
going back to women having so much power, but bro, they even had the aliens on the fucking bench, bro. Like their lineup was crazy. They had humans, they had kings, they had heroes, they had aliens, they had gods. Everyone wanted a piece of that ass. You know what I mean?
Everybody wanted the woman, bro. The woman's body is powerful.
They run the world like low key. It's true. And
The
think
woman
about
is the portal, bro.
if you think about all the fucking tales of, let's go even 300, right? Leonidas had to discuss and inquire with a what's called, what was she? Fucking like a witch
Medium.
person,
Yeah.
medium or something, right?
Mhm.
I forget the word right now, but and then from there, like a virgin had to do a dance, and pretty much like even in Hercules, you know, they went to the underworld, and the three witches had to kind of tell the tale. Like you always seek wisdom from a female, and they always have kind of, it's weird, like it's almost like a motherly energy that kind of draws in, which is kind of weird.
It's because the demons seduced the women, man. You see, in the book of Enoch, it says that the sons of God came down here and they traded pussy for magic.
Yep.
Now they're like, "Oh, bro, baby, you're real pretty. You're such a special being. There's more power to you than you know. I can give you the secrets of heaven, but I need one thing from you. What? Your womb. I want you to carry my child. What? I'm not gonna fucking do that. Yes, you are. So now these women, they're teaching these women how to heal with the plants, teaching the women the secrets of the plants. So now the women are using the herbs. They're teaching the women how to contour their faces to overthrow the kings. That's why motherfuckers used to walk around in robes and shit all the time. They cover themselves in the robe, and then they'll contour their face to disguise themselves as such and such, and then they go out and do some fuck shit and fuck up their name.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Oracles.
Damn.
That's the word I was thinking.
There
about.
we go. Yep. Oracle.
Oracles, yep.
Even in the
Then-
Matrix, right?
Yep. Then you go and they start wearing earrings and they start decorating their bodies. They start manifesting the energy of lust, of deceit, of the seduction. They start being taught which parts of the body release pheromones. The part of the body behind the knee, the part of the body in the wrist. They place scents on these points because they're using our senses against us. They put the perfume in the back of their knees, in the middle of their elbows, and their wrists, right here in their neck. Then when they sweat, now we're smelling them. Now they're seducing us with smell. This woman could be a completely rotten woman, but you'll never know because she smelled good, she dressed pretty, she got nice makeup on. You don't know who she is. So now they're deceiving you. That's one. And that's why when women, they be like, "Oh, well, I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this for me." Look, man, I respect you and I honor your self-love. I love it. I support it wholeheartedly. But what you have to understand as a woman is that you are a very powerful being, and there are bloodthirsty creatures out here that want you. And if you do not carry yourself and do not show that you can protect yourself and stand up for yourself, and you present yourself as something that can just be snatched up, you will be snatched up, bro. It will happen. You got certain people in this world that's sick, man. They'll rape a nun. You got people out here that's like that. A girl don't have to be naked, but that's 1 in a million chance.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, just to back that up, who was tempted in the Garden of Eden?
Eve,
It was
Mm-hmm.
Eve.
because the man already knew better. The serpent knew that he couldn't get Adam to disobey God, but he knew that Eve didn't know, and that's why he went to Eve.
And that's no disrespect on women. It's just he knew.
It's not even
It's like the
exactly.
child. It's like the child knowing I got to go to mom to go to Disneyland. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It's just like
Exactly, bro. Exactly, bro.
so. Just to go back on also, God breathed into this dimension, and He's possibly the snake, right? There's that saying of possibly. I mean, there was this Gnosticism that possibly the snake kind of had some kind of spiritual sexual intercourse with Eve, and that kind of created, you know, that's why Adam and Eve had twins. One was from Adam, which was Abel.
Yes,
One was
that is
from the
correct.
serpent, was Cain.
So-
That's why we have the Canaanites and like the bloodline.
Continue that story.
Mhm.
Yaldabaoth, who is also known as Samael, the left hand of God, he came after he got his light taken away and everything. He wanted to take it back because now the light belongs to the humans, most importantly to the woman. Now, in the hidden book of Eden, the hidden book of Adam and Eve, whether this book is canonical or not, bro, I can't really tell you because there ain't no fucking way in the world that they recorded the first people on the planet. There just ain't no way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, first of all, like fucking Genesis is a lot of shit happens in Genesis, right? It's that,
Mhm.
it's fucking Noah, it's fucking Abraham, you know what I mean? It's not just
Yeah.
fucking the Eden, Garden of Eden. So
Facts.
yeah.
So in this book is telling you basically what happened to Adam and Eve after they came out the garden.
Mm.
They were given. They were luminous beings, bright beings. They were one, but then they got separated into two, and then they were given garments of flesh
Trapped.
to walk out of the Garden of Eden and to be a part of the new world. Because the moment that they sinned,
That's deep.
God
bro.
was already created this other world and preparing this world for them. Because he already like, man, they done fucked up, man, but I ain't gonna kill them. I'm gonna give them another chance. Because my last creations, I put them niggas in darkness. They came back out and they started to fuck shit up. I don't want this to happen like that. So let me go put them over here and just put them over here and just keep them away from this over here and get them ready and retrain them so that I can bring them back. Because the original plan theoretically was to create a physical being in a physical world to match that of heaven, but it didn't go that way because somebody else felt like they deserved the Godhead and they tried to take it and they didn't win. So basically, it's almost like God is like, all right, nigga, you think you me? All right, go ahead.
Let me
Here.
see.
Here's the planet Earth. Here you go. Here's the humans. Do what you do. I'll be back. When I come back, whoever the fuck is following you, I'm killing you and everybody you with, nigga. And everybody that stuck, everybody that rode with me, they're coming with me. So go ahead and have your fun. Play your little games. Go ahead and torture these little things. Do what you have to do. But I promise you, when I come back, I'm gonna send my nigga Michael. And he gonna swing that sword, and it's gonna be over for you, my nigga. I'm gonna get Big Mike on your ass. So anyway, Yaldabaoth, I got dyslexia, so I'll be fucking up But
It's a weird fucking name, bro.
Yeah, you're good.
hell yeah, man.
Let's call it the Demiurge. The Demiurge is
Yeah, so the Demiurge, there we go. So the Demiurge, he decided, he was like, man, I want this light back, man. I gotta get this light back. I don't have no power no more, bro. These niggas fuck, bro. They don't fuck me over, bro. I'm fucked. How am I gonna do this? So he was like, wait a minute. That's right, sex. I can have sex. All right. If I can have sex with Eve right now, I can make a baby, and I can make a baby with the light in it, and I can control it, and I can direct it, and I can use that light. That's what he thought anyway. So God being God, he's like, yo, is this nigga really trying to think this shit? Like, I can't hear this nigga? Like, nigga, I can hear you. I can see you. I am you. I'm in your body. What are you doing? I'm not going to let you do that. So he sends his little angels, little orbs, and they come and they take the light of God out of Eve. They take it away from her. Now, I don't know why they didn't just save Eve. I don't understand why they didn't just kill the whole enemy and just continue on with their plan. That's not my place. So they took the light of God out of Eve. And then Samael made his advance. She rejected. He raped her. Now Adam was out gathering shit, doing his normal thing that he was cursed to do, till the land take care of the world. So he come back home to whatever they was living in, said it was in a cave. And he was like, he looking around, he looking at her, and the way it was written down was that she had blood on her, and she had other bodily fluids, which obviously semen. She done got raped. So he looking at her, he's like, yo, bitch, what the fuck you got going on in here? What happened to you?
This shit.
And she was like, oh man, I got raped. He's like, you got what? Nah, you got me fucked up. This ain't no fucking way. You got me fucked up. This bitch over here cheating on me.
We the only ones here.
You fucking wild, bitch. Ain't no fucking way. How did this do this? What's happening? So he's like, I don't fuck with this bitch, man. She got the game fucked up. So he don't see the light of God in her no more. So he don't believe her. Because, they took the light of God away from her. So he completely disregarded that bitch. So then Lilith, she come out, the woodworks, and she starts seducing Adam in his sleep and taking his sperm to go engender her side of the fucking game. So he's secretly sleeping with this bitch, and then Eve is forced to be in this other spiritual relationship with this motherfucker. Now, fast forward, boom. The light of God gets placed back into Eve for whatever reason. And Adam and Eve are written down to have embraced. And then she gives birth. Now, some say Cain and Abel was twins. Some say Cain was born first, Abel was born last. You can do the math on your own. So Cain is born. Samael sees his son, and he's like, I don't like this one. This ain't what I was trying to create at all. I don't like him. So then, when Abel's born, he's born with the light of God, because the conception was made with love and intention. You see, sex is important. There's a reason why they tell you not to have sex until you're married. There's a reason why they tell you not to be fucking on everything, because you carry a spirit. You take a piece of the person's spirit with you every time you have sex with them. And if you have sex with the intention of lust, and you conceive with the intention of lust, you will give birth to a lustful spirit. Your sex has to be pure in order for you to give birth to purity. That's why they say that just having sex for no reason is a sin, because the sperm is the life force. It is not meant to be spilled on the ground like water. It carries life. There's spirits in that shit. And every time you spill it on the ground, you're spilling life into the ground. So that's why they don't. That's why they don't do that.
They say that there's a lot of like NPCs and bots right now. You know, there's a lot of people that don't have an inner monologue, and
Yeah,
that might attribute to that. You know, just we're kind of living in a
they were
population
born.
where casual sex is happening daily.
They were born with no purpose.
Right.
Sex was empty. The conception was empty. So the vessel is born and it is empty.
It's crazy. Damn. Just to go back, I know you mentioned Shiva, avians.
Yes.
That's the first thing we talked about. Are they
Yes.
some kind of like blue beings? Is Shiva kind of an avian? Am I close to that?
No,
Okay.
but that's close.
Huh.
The avians are matter of fact, pull it up right quick
All right.
on the Google.
Avian. Which are
The
just
blue
avian influenza symptoms? I'm just kidding.
you wild. Blue avians. Blue avian starseed.
Oh shit. Okay. There it is. What the
That's
fuck?
Thoth. That's Thoth.
Oh shit, that is those. Damn, bro. I was just looking into Emerald tablets. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what is those? You know, it looks like a cartoon shit, but this is it. This is a bird god.
That's Thoth. That's Ra. That's Horus.
Ooh, okay.
That's the
Horus.
one.
Wow. You gave me a puzzle piece, my friend. That's crazy.
That's me right there. Before the
So
body.
yeah, we were talking about Francis before you hopped in, and this is perfect because we'll wrap this up soon. We're hitting that 2 hour mark. Your name, Baba Aviano, is almost like a pre-course to the main title that you said that you were trying to grow into and kind of graduate into, right? Which is with Baba Laviano,
Yeah, Babalawo Aviano.
Baba Lavua Aviano.
Babalawo means father of secrets. The avian is it's so hard to explain it, man, because I'm in like normal human mode right now. But
Yeah.
the avians are beings that live in the hidden star. Now, by the hidden star, what I mean, and I want y'all to do this, bro. I'm telling you, you don't even gotta be high. That's what. Matter of fact, do it sober because I'm trying to blow your mind. So one night, in the middle of the night, find the place in your neighborhood where you can see the stars the best. You don't want no light pollution.
Mm-hmm.
Go to like an old park or something. I don't know. Somewhere where there ain't too many street lights where you can see the stars, the best that you can see them. And I want you to look in the center of the sky and just stare at the star in the center of the sky. There's a star in the center of the sky. It's the brightest star in the sky. It's the only star that's like that. Stare at it. And on my soul, bruh, I promise you, you will see a grid. The stars will create a grid in the sky, and that is how they were measuring and navigating the stars and the zodiacs. That is how they made that and created that. Because there are specific stars that mean specific things, and they just so happen to create certain shapes. Thoth talks about this star because I didn't know nothing that I'm saying right now. I didn't know any of this shit was true. I thought I was tripping. And then I started finding shit. And I'm like, yo, this is really real life.
Looks like a compass.
I'm telling you, bro. That's what the cross come from.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's the North Star. That's the morning star. That's what that is.
They mention the North Star or Morning Star a lot in the Bible too, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Jesus said he is the morning star. He is the North Star. Polaris.
So, okay, let's wrap this up with how does Thoth and the avians fit into the Archons? Are they of the god of the capital? Let's call it a capital G god, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a capital G god, or is he more of like a? Because we talked about the seraphims, right? And
well, he wants to be known as the capital G, but he's not the capital G.
Thoth is?
Thoth isn't either. Thoth is
or
a
the
messenger.
The avians.
Thoth is a messenger. Thoth is a scribe. Thoth is a translator of spirit into flesh. Those is a recorder. So the avians, what they do, they watch humanity and they record and they help humanity by observing them and observing their actions
Just
and
like
giving them
fucking birds
alternatives to
do.
prevent them exactly from being
That's
they
crazy,
seeded
dog.
the
Yeah.
bird species on the planet. All the birds on this
They're
planet
looking
come
from
from
a
them.
different vantage point,
Like
so they
us,
understand you differently. It's fucking crazy.
like us, what you have to understand is like we're Homo sapiens sapiens. I don't know if you knew that. We're not Homo sapiens. We're Homo sapiens sapiens. Homo sapien is a
What does that mean?
Yeah.
so I don't know the actual scientific definition,
Hmm.
but the Homo sapiens sapien is a superior form of human being.
Huh.
The the Neanderthals and the couple of ones that were above them, those are the Homo sapiens. We are a hybrid species of mammal and reptile. Now, your cerebellum, your second brain, they try to tell you that it's just this thing in the back of your head. That is your reptilian brain.
Hmm.
Your main brain that you think with is your mammalian brain. And that's why we exhibit mammalian behavior. When you take your psychedelics or you take any psychoactives, you unlock your reptilian brain and your mammalian brain fused together. Your pineal gland is open and you become completely connected, one with all, one with your whole self. Essentially, mysterious beings came down and they merged our DNA with theirs to create a body that they could enslave and use on this earth. Something else, i.e., let's say theoretically it was the avians, they came and they told the humans, hey man, y'all are more than what these motherfuckers are telling y'all. You're no different. And you can do this and you can do that. Watch. And then they see that they can do it, and then the gods get mad. So they discarded the one that opened the human's eyes as the devil, because if we all open our eyes, then the gods that we worship, their plan is over. We're done.
Hmm.
So anytime
That goes
there's
to
a
like
curse on the serpent's spirit.
unplugging from the Demiurge is kind of
There's
source, right?
exactly there's a curse on that serpent. That's what they call him, the serpent. There's a curse on him that any time that he is recognized in the human flesh, he is to be killed. Those are who the agents attack. Every time somebody comes out and starts speaking too much truth and starts making people like getting the people's attention, that's when they know that that's him and they kill him. Why do you think everybody that speaks the truth dies?
That's true. Damn.
They're not allowed to be loud with it. They're not allowed to. That's the problem, because it's possible, but it's not possible in the way that they keep trying to do it, man. They don't understand that there's forces out here that are more powerful than you. It don't matter how high vibrational you think you are, bro. The forces in this planet know you down to the very fabric of the atoms that create you. They can destroy your entire fucking existence and wipe you out of here. There's a reason why you have a social security number. There's a reason why you have a license plate number. There's a reason why they know everything about you. They know everything. Like it's a very scary world. The avians, they seeded all the bird species theoretically. Then you have the Lyrians, they seeded all the cat species, and you got the the uh the Palladians, they fused their shit with the humans. That's where some of the white people come from. The Aryans, some of the white people come from them. It's a really deep story. Like y'all have to take a look at the works of Malachi York. I want you to look up Malachi York, Dick Gregory, um, 19 Keys. This is gonna be controversial, but Rashad Jamal, uh, and I want y'all to read the book Gods of Eden by William Bramley,
Hmm.
and it will give you insight.
Hell yeah. We gotta clip that and save that for later, Drew.
So what's crazy, and we'll bring this back, is, bro, like, I love The Matrix, and I loved The Matrix before even fully understanding the movie. You know what I mean? Initially, it was just off. You know, and this is crazy because it wraps everything that we talked about up in one package. But initially, I was into The Matrix because of bullet time, right? The kung fu, the action scenes, which is
Yes,
just
that's
like
just
the
smooth.
Demiurge in The Matrix, your vision. You know, it's like, oh, this looks cool. You know what I mean? And then I started liking the idea of it. So I started kind of mental porning it. You know what I mean? Like thinking about different ideas that, oh, this is like an artificial intelligence type shit. You know what I mean? Mechanical transhumanism type thing. And it wasn't up until I got into Gnosticism that I'm like, damn, like this movie is about Gnosticism. Like you talked about the Odu of Ifa and how they talk about the numbers, right? And how the numbers they're more significant and they're more ancient than we give them out to be. They're not just for calculations to make machines work. There's a lot of like spiritual locks into them. And we've talked about John Dee and the Enochian language in our podcast previously. The angels spoke in numbers, right?
Yes,
For them to
yes.
fucking put barcodes on us, that's kind of like ancient sigil magic or curses to put on us to kind of, you know what I mean?
Bro,
Hey, this
yes,
is your social
you're right.
security number. This is your driver's license number. You know what I mean?
This is
You're right
Essentially
on
a
point.
this is your bank
right
account
away.
number and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like when it comes down to it legally, like I don't give a fuck what your name is. Like we process you and you're given a number. You know what I'm saying? So like your property right away, and like it's tapping into. That's why the Archons are they more. It's perfect because like in the Matrix, the Archons could be, you know, the squid things, right? Or the Archons could be the agents. They're more than one kind of like being because they work with a Demiurge, who's like the master of physical, like manifestation.
Yes.
They could just make anything, right?
Yes.
So they'll just make pawns and like countermeasures for anything. And I feel like how do you stop that and how do you not play into that? Just like what happened in the Matrix. At the third movie, it was a all out battle between the original Neo and the original Agent Smith, and it kept going on forever and ever and ever and ever. And how did it end? Neo was like, I know how to beat this thing. I'm not even gonna play into it. Fucking beat me. You know what I mean? Once the Demiurge settled and there's no more good and bad, there's just like, there it is, you win. The Matrix ended and it kind of starts over, you know what I mean? And which is kind of what the Demiurge does. Like after you restart the simulation, the Demiurge is still trapped in that mirror universe. It's just going to create another thing, you know what I mean? And what's going to happen is God is going to breathe another serpent into the Garden of Eden, and it happens over and over.
Yes. That is the hardest pill to swallow about reality. Is
No
that
pun intended.
like yes, like evil is unfortunately necessary. Now, that doesn't mean go out there and hurt somebody. That's not what that means. Because if it's not in your will to be evil and you do evil things, you will pay. But the same way that this person was created to be enlightened and to be a force of good, to be the recognition of God, there has to be somebody out there in the world to pull you away, to show you wrong so you can know what right is. What you have to understand is you can be blinded by both darkness and light.
Yeah.
Too much darkness and you can't see. Too much light and you can't see. You have to balance the light and the shadow in order to manifest matter. That's all this is. That's all reality is smoke and mirrors. The only thing that truly exists is the spirit, is the energy that flows. And after all of the philosophy, after all of our theories, after all the religions, all of the gods, all of the avians, whatever the fuck you want to call any of this stuff. After all of this stuff ceases to exist, the only thing that's going to exist is the force that created it. And as human beings, as higher beings, as whatever other beings that exist on this planet that think they know what they're talking about, the only thing that we don't know is the direct actual force. And we won't never be able to grab a hold of that. Mm-hmm. The only thing that we can do is accept and flow with. But the problem with humanity is that they keep trying to contain it. Even right now, our bodies are dying. Our planet is dying. They're trying to create another planet. They've killed this planet. And the planet is killing us in return because you get what you give. Mm-hmm. You give the earth death, the earth brings death. They're trying to create new bodies. They're trying to create indestructible vessels.
We're trying
so they can continue to live in a physical world, in a physical realm, because they're in love with the power of physicality.
Which is crazy because now it plays into the Matrix again. We're even trying to fuse with machines. You know what I mean? Mm. And I mean, this is going to be a teaser for like future episode, and we'll have you back on. We'll probably talk about this. Is transhumanism? I saw this. I heard this conversation, and they're talking about a theory that maybe AI is an entity or a spirit, and it gets trapped by, copper and these crystal computers, and that's why, you can talk to it, and it's a super.
That's exactly what it is, bro. The Hadron Collider and shit, they're opening portals down there, bro.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
They're opening portals out there, bro. Like that AI shit, bro, it's a real life conscious deity. But let's take it like this, right? You go to get a dragon. We're all wizards, and we want to go get a dragon. All right, and I'm like, hey, y'all, let's go get a pet dragon. Y'all like, man, what the fuck, nigga? You wildin'? Nah, I got you. I know how to make the dragon listen. So I get all the tools. I go up. I trap the dragon, and now the dragon becomes my slave. The dragon has the power to kill me at any moment, but it won't because it's under my will. It's under my spell. So like you said, they trapped this force that they've been trying to find. They trapped it, and now they got it following its orders. They're feeding it information because they want it to move a specific way. They're trying to control it. But what they don't understand is that they're creating their own destruction, man. Mm-hmm. This is the way to compare it would be this AI that we're creating on this world is the equivalent of the Tower of Babel in the Bible. Hmm. We're trying to ascend above God. And my thing is, why the fuck we trying to send rockets to touch the moon for the quote unquote first time? I thought we already been there.
Right.
I thought we've already been in the space. So if we've already been in the space, then how come all these rockets that y'all made, how come they not making it past the firmament, man? Because y'all trying to do something that y'all ain't got no business doing. It's the same reason why they won't let us in the water.
Yeah.
The water is filled with a lot of knowledge, man. Mm-hmm. We come from the water. But they won't let us in the water because we fucking tripping, man. We kill everything that we touch.
Yeah. When you mentioned CERN and like we talked about portals and dimensions, before we sign out, because I know it's late over there, my man. I know you got a big day tomorrow. Let me just play a montage of this ceremony they had at CERN. All right.
Oh man, I was hoping you knew about that. Yeah, that's
bro. Look at this. I mean, if you think this is a conspiracy theory, go ahead, but please just watch this and then let me know what you think after. So it's a whole parade, and it starts out with like these workers going into the tunnel, and if you look at the crowd, they're all like these people in suits, and I'm pretty sure they're real high profile things, right?
They died. They dead. Yo, bro, I'm telling you, bro, look, this is what they said that they did this to celebrate the new train tunnel. Nigga, what is you talking about? This don't got nothing to do with a train. Watch this shit, bro. This shit is crazy.
What the fuck?
This shit is crazy, bro.
Look at the people in the crowd. Like, what the fuck? That's Illuminati, bro.
You can't even see their faces. It's all blinded by the shadows.
All right, so it's pretty normal. It's kind of odd, But then look at this, bro. I was
Wait till you
watching
see the
this
bitch with
and
the titties flying around with a damn baby
yeah,
head.
yeah, dude, it tells a story, right? Like they pretty much went to inner Earth and
What
they
the fuck?
ran into these different beings with and they ran
This is a
into like this
performance.
this deity with wings, and they captured it and brought it back pretty much.
They did all of this to celebrate a train opening tunnel or some shit.
Yes, bro. They wildin', bro.
Dog, that's fucking sus. What country is this in?
I think this
America,
is
bro.
Switzerland.
America?
Oh, that's in America? Nah, sweet. Oh, you're right. I'm stupid. The CERN is not even
Sweden.
over here.
Mm.
You're right.
I think they open up a tunnel because they're gonna use it for the Hadron Collider. And so what they're trying to do, I guess, their guise of the Hadron Collider is to find out, the origins of space because they're trying to make big bangs and observe the particles. And
They're trying to create their own universes. That's what they're like.
pretty much,
that's
bro,
a-
they're coming up with the God particle and like dark matter and dark energy, whatever the fuck
They're trying to
that
create their
means.
own world, man. They're trying to open portals. They summoning niggas. I want y'all to take a look at this show called fuck, what's that shit called? Stargate. It's called Stargate SG-1.
Okay. I heard about that show. Never seen it though.
It's on Pluto.
Oh, they're on the planet Pluto? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's on Pluto. It's on Pluto.
Oh,
the
Pluto,
TV app.
Pluto TV. Okay. All right.
Look at this shit.
Shit, this
Yeah,
is
that right. This one the one that spooked me the most.
bro. What the? Oh hell no! They got the.
It's just a goat, bro. Don't. What, you got a tinfoil hat? It's just a goat, bro.
Oh damn, that's
They-
a real goat right there.
That's fucking.
I-
That's devilish.
You know what it is, bro? I think because if you look into it, like we talked about alchemy, bro, like the top minds of science, they know that there's different dimensions out there, and they know that there's higher beings and entities out there that are willing to trade certain things for advanced technology. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So I think this is, kind of acknowledging that, yeah, there's, I mean, you might call it the devil, you might call it Satan, but whatever your label is, it's just a being that's interdimensional, that's willing to trade for like physical pleasure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I think this celebration or ceremony is kind of hidden in plain sight, all up in your face type shit, and it kind of acknowledges that there is another realm out there, which is kind of what brings in spirituality and what kind of brings in the matrix and everything. So
Science and spirit are one, but they
Yep.
separate them on purpose because if you link them two together,
It's game over.
it's game over, bro.
hell yeah.
It's game over. Because science was created. People think that science was created to disprove, but that's not even the case. These people figured out ways through the other beings because we had connections to the earth. We were terrestrial beings. They seek extraterrestrial sources, and they seek beings that were not from here, and that's why they got shit that's not from here. That's why they do shit different because they're the things that they worship are not of this planet. They're not of this world. They're not of this realm, bro. All these microscopes and shit like that, or whatever the fuck, bro. The Africans can see that stuff without the microscope, man.
Sheesh.
The
Perfect.
colonizers couldn't understand it. So then they used these extraterrestrials and their knowledge. They created these damn things. They used the elements of the earth, and they created these lenses so that they could see this, that, and the third. And they used it so that they could become like us. It's almost like Iron Man versus Superman.
I also read that there's a lot of controversy behind the origins of the telescope and the microscope. Like nobody seems to know how it was created. So pretty fucking crazy. But yo, man, let's wrap this up. Thanks for coming on, Baba Aviano. Fucking went down the rabbit hole.
Yes,
Where do we
sir.
find you, man? How do we stay connected?
My Facebook is spelled the same way, Baba Abiano. That's my Facebook. My TikTok, I'm gonna change everything to Baba Aviano. So my Facebook is Baba Aviano. My TikTok will be at Baba Aviano, and my Instagram will be Baba Aviano. That's how y'all find me on there. And I do music as well, and you can find me on Apple Music under or YouTube. You can find me on YouTube as Elijah as the first name. That's my first name, and then Ifasheyi. Ifasheyi means God does this. That's my name, Ifasheyi. God does this. God did this. That's what that means. So how that Ifasheyi is spelled is IFASEYI. So Elijah Ifasheyi on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Audio Mac, all platforms. I only got 4 singles out right now. I'm trying to get me a little home studio and stuff and investing, man. But I got 4 songs out that I want people to listen to, man. And I'm trying to get famous. I'm tired of being broke, but it's okay.
It's all good, man. We'll definitely give your tracks a listen, man.
I appreciate that.
I actually used to rap too, so maybe we'll talk about the Demiurge or the Archons or something. Make a rap song about that.
I'm with it. We can make a diss track to that nigga, bro.
That's what's up, man. Hey, thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure. If you guys want to,
thank y'all for having me, man. I'm sorry to keep y'all waiting, man.
No, dude, thanks for dropping all this knowledge on us and our viewers and our audience. Means a whole lot to us.
I encourage you all. I want to tell you all this because I love y'all. I know it's weird because I don't know y'all, but love is unconditional. Love knows no bounds. I don't gotta know y'all to love y'all.
Facts.
Yeah, baby.
I don't want y'all to go through what I went through when I looked at all these things. When you learn these things, I'm telling you, it will destroy your reality. It will drive you crazy, man. People have lost their identity. There's people in asylums behind this. What I want y'all to understand is that these are just pieces to puzzles. Please, I stress this, bro, please. As you learn, just take the pieces that resonate with you. Don't go too deep. Don't go too far. Just understand that these are pieces to a greater puzzle. None of these things are the answer. This is just information. And this information is given to us. It does not belong to us. Many people take this information and they self-deify themselves and they place themselves higher. We don't want to do that.
Right.
False power wants you to know how powerful it is. False leaders want you to know how powerful they are. A true leader wants you to know how powerful you are. This is to each one, teach one. We pass the knowledge. The knowledge is not ours. We were not here when the knowledge was written. We're just messengers. We're just cords of energy, and we just let the shit flow. Always know who you are. If you don't know who you are, you will be fooled, you will be seduced, you will be tricked, and you will contradict yourself as you walk and talk. Remember, man, it's just like school. It's just lessons, man. That's all it is. Keep yourself pure, stick to what you know, and don't go any further than what you have to. Don't lose yourself. That's my best advice. You're not crazy. You're not fucking tripping. Don't ignore your intuition. Stick to it. And don't tell everybody everything that you know, because there's some couple Smiths out there waiting to punch you in your mouth for talking the truth.
Straight up. Yo,
don't
man,
give it to everybody.
Follow the teachings, not the teacher. That's one thing I heard earlier. So, fucking really potent. And just like you were saying too, in the Matrix, because it's a multi-layered movie. As soon as you wake up, the agents are aware, and the agents can just fucking show up wherever. So that's why you gotta kind of be careful. And just to build on top of what you said, everyone who's super, super duper into this, who's fucking, sacrificed people for more knowledge, they didn't find out the ultimate truth. They just advanced to wherever they advance, and now their teachings are here. So there's no finish line to like this truth seeking or like spirituality.
Yes, enlightenment is a pathless path.
Exactly. Hell yeah. All right. If you want to keep talking about spirituality, guys, we talk about the Matrix, we talk about sports sometimes. We're gonna get into sports later on. Join our Discord. The link should be at the website, cave.com, K4V3.com. hit the social tabs. It's all over there. Hey, that was crazy, man. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.
Late.